72. Let's start by counting up some wins. Let's count up a few of these wins. Well, let's take a look at where we out here winning. Where we winning at? Open up the request box for you. We're going to list 3 challenging goals you have already achieved. 3 challenging goals that you've already achieved. Let's start there. Let's start by acknowledging and looking at ways that we can enhance our confidence and look at evidence that we are capable of doing things and achieving things. Now, is your definition of challenging just challenging for you. It doesn't have to mean anything to anyone else but you. But let's take a second and look at that. Three challenging goals that you've already achieved. I know it's easy to say, oh, I ain't really done nothing. Maybe not. You've done something though. You know, you've done something. I tried to do you a favor and not use the superlatives here, where it's like it has to be the absolute most challenging. Just 3 hard things that you've done, that you've accomplished. You could do hard things. I believe you can. Billy, Tim, thank you so much for the likes. Really appreciate that. So Alien says, I have upgraded the mothership, navigated Earth, and milked a cow. So Billy says, honestly, I haven't done it. I've done things I've done, but nothing current. So it doesn't have to be current. You just have to remember it, and it had to be meaningful to you at the time. Even though you might not necessarily get a chance to like put it in the box now. Choose a couple things that you have done in your life that you think were significant, were challenging. That when you were done, it was like, wow, okay, I did that. So Noble's challenging goals. I killed it at work last night, was out by 12:45 a.m. PST. 2, I started a new Pokemon for my RPG Pokemon region. 3, I brainstormed new ideas with my previous projects. Finished to a point. All right. So it seems like 2 and 3 are in progress. And it's important to give yourself credit for starting. It's important to give yourself credit for starting. I think what I had in mind with this question, though, are things that are finished, completed, achieved, shipped. So for Tim is I lost a little weight, was vegetarian at one point, started something new and hadn't stopped. Okay. You showing some resilience, some stick-to-itiveness, as they say sometimes. So April May is here. Hi, April May. It's May, and it seems like I haven't seen you since like November. I hope that you're doing well. Hello, James. It's good to have you here this morning. So right now we're talking about the three challenging goals that we've already achieved. 3 challenging goals. So Misfire says that I went mythic in Magic Online, top 7% of players, for 1 season during these pandemic years. I did this CHW class. I've graduated therapy twice before. That's a big one. There we go. We have a range of goals. I think it's important for us to have goals in different areas of our life, because sometimes it's like, you might be a little stuck in one place, but you need to see if it just feels good to be good at something, right? We need to have that feeling that we're good at something. It gives us a lot of motivation and confidence, and even the confidence that we feel when we are good at something, when we achieve something, that spills over into other areas, into things that aren't even related to our main thing. It just works that way. So sometimes it's a stretch. It's like, especially when you're in the middle of it, you're going through it. You're like, I haven't achieved anything. Especially if there's some big things in front of you that you know that you have a long way to go. It's hard for us to even it's hard for you to even imagine, like, and acknowledge what you've done when you are faced with what you're trying to do. SO has felt attacked through the whole stream. I'm not here to attack you, SO. I hope that it hasn't made your panic worse. Maybe you're feeling attacked because you are feeling panicked. All right, let's get ready to go to the next prompt. All right. So Renita is listening in over on Facebook. Good morning, Renita. Thank you for being here. Hope that your Tuesday is off to a great start. Right now we have a question before us, and the question is, what obstacles did you overcome to achieve your most significant goal? Obstacles. So you can choose one of those three that you started with just now. You can choose one of those three, or if there's another goal that's more significant, you can choose that one. But let's look at the obstacles, because I think that even more than the fact that we achieve something, that makes us feel confident. It gives us even more confidence when we recognize what we had to get through, what we had to go through. That's even more significant. Because I think sometimes when we start envisioning what's possible for us, we kind of fixate on the good part, like how it's going to feel when it's done. But I think the more significant thing, the more empowering thing is all the stuff that you're going to have to go through to get there, including that in your vision as well. So when you look back at what you've done, it's the obstacles that make it meaningful and memorable. So looking at those goals that you achieved, what were the obstacles? Enter a nickname is here. Welcome in. Oyo, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Hey, yo, it's Jovi. So, obstacles. Oyo says the obstacle that I overcame was letting go of my pride. Letting go of my pride. Wow. I think the biggest obstacles that we have are the ones that lie inside of us, right? And that's a big one. There's a lot of stuff that you can get to when you can get past that. So what do you think your pride was standing in the way of? Billy Hurley says that one obstacle for me is trying to start getting my life together. Now, do I feel like I completed that yet? No, but I know I will get there and achieve my main goal of getting my adult life, getting that adult thing. Yeah, there's a lot of little steps in that process. Billy, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate everyone for dropping those likes. So for Oyo, that pride was getting in the way of successful relationships. How does that work? What role does pride play in keeping you away from successful relationships? Yeah, I can imagine a few different ways. Jazzy Bear, thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. And welcome to Spoon. Glad to have you here. If you got questions, we're working with the prompt. You can see it in the background, especially if you swipe over, you can move all of the chat away and you can just see a question. And that question is, what obstacles did you overcome to achieve your most significant goal? Yeah. Pride won't let you say when you were wrong. Pride has you digging in, doubling down when you know you're wrong. Know you're wrong. So for Misfire says, the obstacles for my community health worker class, I had to reach out to people. Had to reach out to people I didn't know, as well as make time to do service learning. So getting over wanting to be at home or just not to be around people right then, that was an obstacle for me. Yeah, it's kind of a part of the gig, right? If you're going to do work in community, you gotta have to be around community. Oh man, got to get over that one. Well, I'm glad that you did. And a lot of times those obstacles that we face, they are pretty flimsy when you confront them. They seem big, they seem onerous when you are looking at them from afar. But they are like these false barriers that as soon as you push against them, they kind of crumble. So that's one of the great things that you kind of learn. You learn the degree to which our fears live so much grander in our imagination than they do in reality so often. It's so often the case that our fears live so much larger in our imagination than they do when we actually face them. So for Alien, navigating Earth, the many obstacles that manifest from out of the perception of each is own mind onto my existence. Consciously discerning my being from others' reality in order to self-cultivate. I almost feel like I need to put something on that. When I read Alien's responses, I almost feel like they need something. Maybe navigating Earth, the many obstacles that manifest from out of the perception of each is own mind onto my existence, consciously discerning my being from others' reality in order to self-cultivate. Or something like that. Enter a nickname. Thank you so much for the spoons, fam. I appreciate that. So the obstacles that Tim is overcoming, laziness. So I just be lazy. Oh man, that's a big one though. For SOK, it is learning to regulate my thoughts and feel my emotions rather than trying to regulate my emotions by thinking. So the obstacle is learning to regulate my thoughts and feel my emotions rather than trying to regulate my emotions by thinking. I heard that. Feelings are to be felt. And that is a skill of emotional intelligence that so many of us have yet to develop. We're working on that. So That's a great bit of clarity and understanding exactly what it is that you are against. And just because you overcome an obstacle one time, it doesn't mean it won't pop back up for you. All right. We'll take a second or two, take a couple deep breaths, and we're going to get ready to go into the next prompt in just a second. But this is a moment in this dream where, we take a little bit of a pause. And I want to say thanks to everyone who's watching and listening, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever you happen to be checking us out this morning. And also, of course, everyone in the VIP on Spoon. Thank you. This is session number 272 of the Morning Journal. And we are getting dangerously close to a milestone of 4,000 followers. That's pretty cool to have that many people at some point being a part of the community, at some point being hitting that follow button because they heard something that was worthwhile. So appreciate all of that. And all of you. So Cage, somebody woke Cage up. Somebody rattled Cage this morning. So let's get into, let me go ahead and set up the next one for you to think about. All right. So Cage got a call coming up, so he said, let me just prep. Atlanta says, what's up? All right. So here we are with static coming from somewhere. Okay. So what is the clearest target currently in your sights? And I think if you've been here a while, you know how much of a fan I am of clarity and specificity. We were talking about some goals and targets, some things that you achieved and some obstacles that you overcame. Sometimes it's hard for us to grab hold of the motivation that we need to move forward because we don't really know exactly what it is that we're aiming at. We haven't laid down a clear path. We don't know what done looks like. So I think that we kind of grow up and the path is kind of laid out pretty clearly for what the next step is going to be. But then when we get into our adult lives, we have to kind of set our own goals and set our own path. And that can be a little tricky. But it's important to do that to get a real clear and specific target that you're trying to hit. So what is that for you? What's in your sights right now? When you're in an academic setting, sometimes, the target is pretty graduation. That's one, right? If you're in a specific line of work, maybe it's the next promotion or the next move into a different area. But saying specifically what it is an act of it's a part of the commitment that you're making. You're proclaiming that this is what your intention is. And it also sets up the real possibility that you won't get it how you want to get it right? Might not work for you. You're going to be disappointed, but you said it with your chest, right? So Mo is here. Sanzi is here. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. So we're listening to The Murdered Dancer by Luella Grin. Oyo wants to sample it. Thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see what our target is. So for Oyo, it is reading and understanding scripture, then being able to teach it to others. So where are you going to start? Because that's very broad. Scripture is big. So is there a specific area of scripture that you're going to start with? Because, if you're going to try to master the whole thing, then you'll never, so you're going to start New Testament. Okay. All right. I ate my donut just like the live. Thank you so much. So Miss just has a series of airplanes. Try to take flights. So someone anonymously shares that the target in sight for me is to fight an addiction that I have started again recently, to stamp out the embers before they become a flame. Stamp out the embers before they become a blaze. Yeah, for sure. I think the courage to not throw it all away when you slip, that is a very mature and a realistic look at what a struggle like that is. It's like no path is perfect, and it's still worth, and you're still worth starting over and doing what you need to do to stay sober, stay clean. Even if you slip, the slip doesn't define your value. So we're pulling for you. We're pulling for you. So Billy says, what I'm focused on targeting right now is slowly getting my life stable and together, and I hope soon to get back to my education. GED, anyone? Yeah. That GED as a something in your sights opens the doors for a lot of other opportunities. So I definitely appreciate that. That's a clear target. Cage notes that your history does not have to be your destiny. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. I think it is really valuable to consider those targets that's off in the distance, and also the ones that are right in front of you. The little steps that you have to take are just as important as the ones that are off in the horizon. And sometimes we underestimate the small wins that we can do, that we can accomplish, the clear step that's right in front of us. We don't take it as seriously because we're so focused on the thing that's off in the distance. We don't necessarily, appreciate the fact that this step that you're taking right now is a part of that step. Sometimes we want to skip steps, But if you skip steps, you might arrive at your destination and not have what you need when you get there. So for Alien, it is getting back home to remembrance of self, yoking mind, body, soul with new beliefs. Yoking mind, body, soul with new beliefs. I think we all want to get back home to some degree, right? We want to get back home. Getting back home to planet Nebula. I don't know what planet Alien is from. Maybe you have some insight, Ohio. Alien is nomadic. Wherever Alien lays, the aliens wear hats. All right, here we go. Thank you so much for the likes. They wear fitteds, Yankee fitteds, probably. All right, let's get ready to go into the next prompt. So it's important that when we have, you got a target in mind, you have something that you're trying to do. I think it's important to consider, of course, we don't want to be, I'm not asking you to be hopelessly pessimistic, just realistic. Before we switch up though, Cage, drop one in here. So from the previous prompt, the target is being better today than I was yesterday, not punishing the future for sins of the past, and breathing. Those are the targets. Yeah, keep breathing. Let's be better. Yeah, and that punishing the future for the past, beating yourself up, that's just going to perpetuate a cycle that's not necessary. Okay, so here we are. We're going to get ready to reset the request box. And we're thinking about, so what could go wrong? And how can you be better prepared for it? Any significant journey is going to have some obstacles. Some of those obstacles lie inside of you. You know your tendencies, right? You know your weaknesses. You know kind of what the battles that you have to fight to get to the other side. So how can you be prepared for it? You can't wish it away. You can't wish it away. How can you be ready for it? April May, thank you for the likes. Tree Stump, thank you for being here. Juno is here. Ben 10 is back. It's good to see you, Ben 10. Thank you for joining us. As you were chewing over that idea, take a second to drop some green hearts in the chat. If you're still thinking about what you need to guard against, what you need to prepare for in this thing that you're moving towards. So green hearts for Retha, who's watching, listening, maybe. Enter a nickname. Thank you so much for the spoons. I really appreciate it. Ben 10 says, I got to cut out my toxic behaviors to really step into my power. So what are some of those behaviors? Well, maybe we don't need to know. As long as you know. As long as you know. You don't have to tell us, but be specific with yourself. So if you want a clue as to what might go wrong as you move towards what you do, what obstacles might show up for you, if you want a clue, you can look back at the ones that showed up before. So often we are in a pattern. So one of Ben 10's toxic traits is that I hold others to the same standards that I hold myself, and I learned that's not fair because I've gone through circumstances that they haven't. A lot of times people will say, you know, if I were you, blah, 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 right? But then, well, you're not me. So it's that part. But still, you know, a mature person can glean wisdom from anywhere. But I do think it's probably smarter to be stricter on yourself and more generous with others. So someone anonymously says that I'd say being homeless could be that what could go wrong scenario, and I'm preparing better for it by learning how to save bit by bit. Be the example of the change you wish to see in your kingdom, so to speak. So it's like, hey, I need to set something aside. I need to maintain my basic needs. I need to make sure that I build enough of a cushion around myself. So Billy Hurley says, with setting my life up, future job, with my future job, I couldn't get hired. With life, I could do so many things wrong. With my education, I could try again. Basically, all I can do is take it day by day. Well, what could go wrong is I'm not able to get the job I want. I might not get hired. I might mess some things up. But hey, I think the biggest thing is just to realize it is day by day and stay aware and correct course. So we just gonna glaze over the onomatopoeia? Like, yeah, I guess so. So I think it's a healthy thing, as long as it doesn't take away our hope. It's a healthy thing to recognize that, hey, it might not go like I want it to go, but I'm committed to keep trying and to keep working and to keep looking. So what could go wrong for Miss Awake? Says, what if I can't perform my job on my work trip? It'll be physically demanding. So I'm conserving my energy and drinking water, staying hydrated, getting your body ready. Cage points out, sometimes it doesn't go the way you want. It goes the way you need. We have a limited view on what would be good. Sometimes the circumstances conspire to put us in a better position than we anticipated, even though it doesn't look like that. So Ben 10 says, high key, what could go wrong? Getting taken out for taking on the energy industry. Getting taken out for taking on the energy industry. The powers that be. Free energy has been viable since Nikola Tesla. That's what could go wrong. That sounds like Atlas Shrugged to me. So Quasha is here. Kay just got to get that call. Thank you so much for stopping through. Quasha says, I'm here, but I'll be right back. That'll work. Yeah, Ben 10 just read Atlas Shrugged, I think. All right. So, Alien says, forgetting the enlightenment acquired along the journey, that's what could go wrong. So it's important to prepare a key to access it all at will. If not, learning to let it come and go with ease. Forgetting the enlightenment acquired along the journey, that's what could go wrong. So it's important to prepare a key to access it at will. If not, learning to let it come and go with ease. Mo, thank you so much for the like. Welcome back. The question that we are kind of considering right now is, what could go wrong and how can I better be prepared for it? So we are coming to the next prompt for you to consider right now. So fill in the blank. So it goes, when it comes to blank, I show a lot of self-control. When it comes to blank, I show a lot of self-control. When it comes to blank, I show a lot of self-control. I know there's got to be, well, it doesn't have to be. Maybe you don't have any, but there might be at least one sliver of your life where you've demonstrated that you can kind of hold back, make intentional decisions, and, delay your gratification in some way or another. It might not be everywhere. You might not be a self-disciplined person overall, but there might be a sliver or a space in your life where you actually, are able to keep it together. So when it comes to blank, I show a lot of self-control. I think one of the biggest traits, skills that you'd have to hone in order to move forward towards those targets that are on the horizon for you, the things that you're trying to accomplish or move into, is self-control, And I think it's a transferable skill. One act of discipline feeds another act of discipline. Kind of it shifts your identity at some point where you just become the type of person who you become the type of person who can sit down and move in an intended direction. They build on each other. These disciplines, these acts of control, self-control. So for Billy Hurley, he says, when I'm motivated and know I'm on the right track, and dedication also is a playing factor. Point being, I try. When you feel like a lot of times, if we have doubts, it's hard to, when you're carrying a lot of doubt, it's hard to stay the course. Ben 10 says, I need to work on delaying gratification for real. So Miss says that I exercise self-control in not doing illicit drugs, not drinking, not smoking. Other than that, I'm completely wild. So I hear you. Sylvan says, speaking without a filter, no matter who you are, I will talk to you politely. And a lot of people take that for granted. Rock on, y'all. So you are controlled in your speech. So Ben 10 says, when it comes to exacting revenge, I show a lot of self-control. I try to give the benefit of the doubt and be conscious of circumstances that led them to their actions. So you're like, I'm not gonna bring my wrath right away. I'm gonna have some grace. I'm not gonna bring the heat, bring the pain off the rip. All right. So Alien says, yoga. When it comes to yoga, I show a lot of self-control. Yeah, it requires self-control to be doing yoga, I guess. Prevail, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. So, Mo says, when it comes to being patient with children, I show a lot of self-control. That's good. As a teacher, I would hope that is a trait that, I hope that you have some patience. Yeah, that's a good thing. Goddess of Words has joined us. I'm guessing maybe Quash is out of the shower. It's always dangerous to announce. You wouldn't expect a raccoon to have a lot of patience, but you know. So, but hey, there you are, right? I think Quasha is it's dangerous to tell people that you're about to go take a shower, because then when you come back to the chat, they clocking you like, okay, how long were you in the shower? You know, like, you done already? You sure? All right. All right. You have to scroll back up, see how much time has transpired. Prevail says, I have mounts in my shower, so y'all come with me. Yeah, there you go. All right. So let's get ready to oh man. So Tim was like, SO show did take a short one, but you have to realize SO's was not a shower to shower. It was a shower to calm down, you know? It wasn't like, not what it was. It was just, so it wasn't worth talking about. Leave these folks alone. I mean, I said it. I'm the one to blame here. I brought it up. So you might as well wash, but you might have already washed. So I'm in here. As long as I'm in here, I might as well bop, 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 you know. All right, so we're going to take a look. We're going to do some key takeaways. If you just joined us, this is a perfect time to have joined us because we're going to basically run down. And so I was defending your panic shower. I don't know though, when you panic though, you do have, sometimes when you panic, it does produce, like, you sweat when you panic. So I don't know. We were really more talking about, Quash has been real quiet. Quash might have left. Hold on, is Quash still here? Yeah, Quash is still here. It's like, far be it from me to leave a like for you again, right? As far as we know, Quash is not even out of the shower yet. She wait. She just sitting there. She's sitting looking at the clock, you know. So Gask, Mask, Pete, and Zach are here. I'm going to reset the request box and let's do some key takeaways. Key takeaways. These are, you know what? Let's come back to the key takeaways. I want to do something else first. Hang tight. While we got 20 people in here, I want to do this. I want to get a pulse. Well, 19 people, somebody left. I want to get a pulse of the room from our prompt from this morning, our would you rather question. Let's get that going, and then we'll do our recap. Would you rather be busy, too busy, or bored? That is what we worked with this morning. I won't say which one won earlier, but if you were here, you already know. Be quiet, don't say. Go ahead and vote. I know not all of y'all are asleep. Go ahead and vote. Would you rather be too busy or be bored? Quash was putting lotion on. I heard everything. Oh, so you were out of the shower then. You would put lotion on. Quash like, look, you ain't paying my water bill. You ain't paying my water bill. Ain't got time to luxuriate. Gotta get in, get out. I gotta go to work. What's up, Witchy? It's like, yeah. I took a little quick hasty shower. I got to get my daughter ready for work. Let me live my life over here. So we voting. We got 8 votes out of the 19 of y'all. Go ahead, a couple of y'all, go ahead and vote. Would you rather be too busy or be bored? All right, Emma, watch out. Weechee's here. I know y'all got beef. Emma and Weechie have an ongoing beef. So go ahead and put somebody else vote. Weechie and Emma beef. Yep. All right, ain't nobody else voting. So let's see. Oh, it's a little bit closer this time, but y'all want to be busy. Y'all rather be busy than bored. Okay. Maybe work on that. I don't know. Always got to be doing something. Let's go ahead and now let's do the recap. This is an opportunity for you to share some of your key takeaways from today's session. So today we talked about 3 things. We started the conversation by listing some challenging goals that you've already achieved. Because when you look back at what you've already done, it can give you confidence to move forward. And even more significantly, looking at the things that you overcame, the things that you had to overcome to achieve your most significant goals. So we want to invest that confidence, invest that sense of possibility and effectiveness and power that we gain when we do something that matters to us and we manage to get something accomplished that we work hard for. We want to invest that into where we're looking next. So looking at what's a target that you have clearly in your sights currently, what are you aiming at? And then thinking, okay, so this is what I want to do based on everything I've learned from my experiences in the past, and what could go wrong with this thing that I'm doing now? I know myself well enough to know that these might be some obstacles that come in my way. I've learned enough about what it is that I'm trying to do to recognize that these might be some things I might need to guard against. So that's the next problem. What could go wrong, and how can you be better prepared for when things fall apart? And then finally, we had a question about self-control. What is an area where you are able to practice some self-control? And it's like a muscle. You can invest that in other areas once you've proven yourself to be the type of person who can stand up to yourself, can stand up to your, the impatient version of yourself who wants everything to go right now, when you know it's going to take some time. That self-discipline, you can invest it. So what are some of the places where it already exists? Where is the seed of it that you can grow into a more effective pursuit or a more purposeful journey towards what you're trying to create? All right. So here are some key takeaways. Billy Hurley says that my key takeaway is to focus on yourself and to keep on pushing forward, no matter the challenge or obstacle, and to always have a target to smash with a dart. Keep a target in front of you. Even if you don't hit the target, it faces you in a direction. It faces you in the right direction, gives you something to move towards. Billy Hurley says, well, I hope everyone has a good tactical Tuesday and a good day. Cold salutations. Much love, everyone. Thank you so much, Billy. It's great to have you here. So Tim says the key takeaway for me was to know your problems, find a different route if needed, have some recognition. Like, this is how I be getting down. This is a problem for me. I might need to go a different route, but I'm still committed to getting there however I need to get there. Mississippi came through. So I just wanted to stop in and say good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Love y'all's faces. Thank you so much, Mississippi. It's always great to see you. So with that, we're going to go ahead and close things down for our video streams. Thank you all for listening and watching, and we'll be back tomorrow. You can always join us live on the Morning Journal. If you catch us in the VIP, you can catch us at 6 a.m. Monday through Friday. You can find the links in your description, and you can get the whole experience every day. But it's been a good session. I hope that y'all have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you next time.